So primarily we will be focusing on understanding function concepts. Okay. So in the previous session, I have discussed about call by value, call by reference stuff, right? So in this, we will increase the um, complexity a bit more, and I'll add more stuff today. Okay. So let's say when it comes to a function definition, right? So function has a function name here, okay, and here inside it we have parameters, okay, and then we had here function docstring, okay, and then we have function statements, and optionally we have a written statement. Got it? Yeah. So this is how that any typical function looks, and this is what industry standard. Okay. So let me write a small program which would, let's say, I might give a very basic example still, but I'll add all the stuff which is required. Okay. So think of, let's say use cases, use case, right? Use cases, use case, for example, um, in the given list, if list having list having at least at least one at least one number at least one number which is greater than, let's say, 45, for example, then return true. Okay. So there's one use case where in a given list of numbers, in the given list of numbers, one second. Otherwise, I'll put them in a documentation string. It would be more comfortable, unconvenient. So use case is in the given list of numbers, if list is having at least one number which is greater than 45, then return true. Otherwise, false. Got it, guys? What the expectation is, right? So the core logic, for example, let's say my list equal to L equal to, I have a list of numbers. Okay, let's say 50, for example. So what is asked here? The ask is very simple, right? So when we are doing this, right? When we are doing this, you have to return. See, you have to write a function, meaning you have to return a function which would return true if the at least one of the number is greater than 45. You got it? If let's say if any of the number is let's say less than 45, then we should return false. In this particular list, is it a true case or false case? Which will let's say if I pass this list, so which would it should return? It should return true, correct? Yeah, right. So like this, there are scenarios where you need to perform some. See, when it comes to the real time, right? In the real time, you need to, for example, shut down a server, or destroy the infrastructure if certain server are existing. Okay, let's say there are, for example, your team, you had dev, QA, UAT in production, for example, and so in QA is not used. Let's say development happens, maybe see when it comes to QA, right? So QA not every day happens because after, for example, since it's let's say imagine this scenario, right? There is a scenario where you had a you started with a project and you created dev, QA, UAT, and production servers. Okay, and you want to shut down, or you need to terminate all the processes which is consumed. Okay, you need to free up the things, right? What you have to do, you have to monitor and check, correct? So even that scenario also you can use. But this is a very basic scenario where I'm just giving some heads up that hey, if this is this, you have to do this activity. Okay, so how this can be implemented, right? So for this kind of use cases, right, what you should do is, see, first of all, what is the stuff here? So def is a statement. Def, this is a function. Def, what's the function name? Let's say function name is, you can name anything, but should have some meaningful name, right? I would say uh, yeah, boolean you can use, but doesn't make any sense. Yeah, yeah, you can use is actually. Okay, is greater than 45, something like this. You got it? So instead of write is greater than 45, right? You can say like this: is GT means greater than 45, but still that should be fine. All right, and here there's a, see, I have defined this cool function name. Cool, I'm done with function name. And here parameters, right? So parameters means on which value I'll be doing this calculation. I'll be, see, I'll be parsing the list here. You got it? Data, for example, data, right? The parameter name is data. This can be any name, it can be your name too. You got it? So I'll be passing this list data to the function, and inside this, what we will do, so how we will check? See, now I need to check whether 45, let's say, any of the number is available in this list or not. So what is the algorithm? Let's quickly write the algorithm. Okay, right? So what is algorithm? So very, it's easy that, first of all, step number one, define the list. You got it? Step number two, step number two, define the function. Define the function. Step number three, okay. Step number three, what we had to do was, so loop through, loop through each, yeah, each and every item, yeah. Okay, and step four, what is it, Naveen? Condition. Check the condition, right? See, sorry, check the value. Check the item if it is, yeah, greater than 45. Perfect. If yes, then return true. Else check. No, that's what. Else, uh, else check the item. Check the next item. Okay, or else false. That's fine. That should be fine. Yeah. And step 5, make the function call. You got it? Yeah. So to perform this use case, it's very simple. Okay. So now, what is the first step? Define a list. Got it? So I'll be defining here L equal to this, right? And what is the next step? Define the function. Okay, so I had defined function whose function name is greater than 45. You got it? And I define the function also also define the parameters required. Got it? So why this parameter is required is because see the list is outside of this function, correct? You'll come to know. Okay, I'll just explain to you. Don't worry about it. Yeah. And here when you look at this, right? Then what is the next one? Loop through each and every item, right? So what I should do is for item in. So you should not use L. You got it? Data. So you should use data. Got it? If item. So and also what you should do is if item, right? Eh, Yeah, yeah. If item greater than, right, equal to 45. Got it? Then return true. Okay. So it should keep, see, the loop should keep on happening. Okay. And outside of this loop, you got it? Outside of the loop, what you should do is you should say, see, if you are not returning true there, right? Outside of the loop, you should return false. You got it? I'll tell you how. I'll tell you why. You got it? So this is what we do. Next, what is the last one? Make the function call. And guys, you are clear, right? So when we are making a block, see, this is these two statements inside the for block. Written is outside the for block. Okay, you will understand why I have written outside. Got it? And here, when I'm calling this function, so this is a function call, right? So here, what I'll do is I'll just pass L. Did you get it? I'll pass L here. So now let me explain you clearly. Okay, see here when I define L equal to 12, 3, 44, 5, 50, right? This it just creates memory. Okay, it simply the data will be stored into the memory. Got it? Right? And here this function will be simply creates it's a function object in the memory. That's it. But when this will be executed, for example, let's say if I don't have I didn't had a function call here. If I execute this out, one second. So got it. So if I execute this program, did you see this? Nothing happened on the screen. Why nothing happened? Something should happen, is it? But what is the reason? The reason is very simple. See, when we are defining it, and you're not doing anything actually. Even there is no print statement, nothing happened. Correct? The reason is function will be only executed when you call the function. If you don't call the function, if you just if it has only definition part of it, then nothing will be executed, guys. Did you understood or no? It is just defining, like we are just writing, let's say a equal to 10, b equal to 20, for example, right? I'm not doing any operation, right? A plus b, a minus b, or a star b, or print a, print b, nothing, correct? So that's in the same way we just define list here, and we just define a function. You got it? So like no, can you please confirm the audio, guys? Okay, thank you. Right. So guys, the current program, when the code is inside this three double quotes, right, which is considered as a commented block. Okay, commented block means which will not be executed. Okay, and here, so the from beginning till last, the code you are seeing on the green color, which is in the commented block, so that's why it will not be executed. Okay, program execution goes from here. And when it comes to this particular specific line, we just add a definition. Okay, definition means We just defined it. We are not using it. We are not playing with anything. Got it? And there is one more thing which is like a function definition, right? Even since it's since it's a definition, right? This definition will be executed only if there is a function call. You got it? So yeah, and so to relate to that, right? So I just written like this: a equal to 10, b equal to 20. Since I'm not performing any action, right? That's addition, multiplication. That's where this is not, you are not seeing anything on the screen. If I trigger a number of times, nothing will happen. Got it? But when this program, like now, function will be executed, when we call this function, then only it will be executed. Okay? And when we are calling, see, you are looking at the function name, right? The function name is gt45. Got it? So when I go back here, and if I call this function, for example, but when you see here, how many parameters are there? So there is one parameter, is it, in this? The parameter name is data. Like one parameter is there, but when I call this function, you should pass one parameter value. So whatever the parameter it is available, you have to pass the value. Did you got it? If without this, for example, if you try this, if you try, what happens is, your application will crash, saying that a function required one positional argument but zero given. Okay, one argument required, but you are not giving anything. That's why it is issue. Did you see this function? See, type error, function missing one required positional argument, data. You got it? Previously, in the previous version of Python, it is clearly saying function required minimum of one argument, one value, but zero given, because I didn't give anything, right? That's where. And even this error is still very nice. See, the function missing one required positional argument, data. Did you got it? So since you are not passing any value to this data parameter, right? That's where it is failing. Got it? So let me also copy this out, because when you are referring this code, right, you will have a good insight that, oh, okay, since there is issue with this particular function call, that's where it got failed. That's where I mentioned this. And but what is a good way, a good practice, right? So you should take this, okay? And when you look at this, when you're making a function call, you should parse it, right? So this function is meant for what? This is to check whether the list of items is, one of the item is greater than 45 or not. If it is 45, then returns true, else false. Okay. And one more important thing, whenever function execution meets written statement, which means, written statement means exit, return the value and exit from the function. You got it? And why I had here, for example, let's say, okay, I'll tell you the scenarios also. So when I'm making a function call, now this time what I'll do is I'll pass this L. You got it? I'll pass the reference of L. So in the previous session we did discussed about call by value and call by reference, right? So now I'll pass the reference L. Got it? And if I execute this now, something happen. It may return true or it may return false, but I'm not printing it, right? So even if I execute this, you're not seeing anything on the screen still. Why? The reason is very simple. I didn't issue any print statement. Got it? But if I issued print statement and execute this out, right? Did you see this? What this function has written? This has written true. What is the reason? What is the reason of true statement here? It's very simple that, I have passed is 45 function. I have passed L, right? What is L? L is list of this value, right? Now if you're passing L means the reference of for this particular value. Okay, the originally what happens is, in the background, that value will go here. It will be like this, and you're passing this value. See, you're passing this value to, what is the positional argument here? Data. Got it? In the background, it will happen like this. And so this is the data value, right? And data value change. The data value will be updated like this. Got it? And here, for item in list of 12, right? Cool. So see, this will stuck. Loop will happen how many times? based on the list count. How many are there? Since it's five values are there, 12, 3, 4, 5, 50. You got it? So you can also, in order to make it more simpler, right? You can make code like this so that you will understand very nicely, very nicely. Got it? So here, loop starts. I'll also make some statement here. Loop ends. You got it? Yeah. So what, like this particular loop, see, it will stuck. It will come here, and this will stuck like this two lines of code, right? It will be keep on triggering, keep on executing. See, first time what is the value for item in this? First time what is the item value? Item value become 12, correct? If 12 greater than 45, false, right? Simply, since it's a loop, right? Since it's a loop, right? It will go for next item. What is the next item? 3. Got it? 3 greater than 45. No. It will check for next item. Next item. Next item. 50. 50 greater than 45. So what is the condition? Condition become true, right? The last value is 50. 50 greater than 40, 45, which is true, right? Condition become true. What happened? This returns true, meaning as soon as it means this particular value, the condition become true, and it has a return statement, return true. You got it? Which means when it meets this, return true and exit function. You got it? So that's where we got true value. For example, now what I'll do is I'll just update. I'll keep like this only for you for your reference. Instead, what I'll do is I'll take one more. So since it is for your understanding, right? So I'll make it like this only. When you're referring them, it will be very easy for you. Okay. So here L. So this we made it a data, and this is data. Got it? And here this time what I'll do is I'll just remove 50, for example. So this time what happens? L equal to 12, 3, 4, 5, right? And this is a definition. This is a definition. Got it? Yeah. And I think you better remove this. Yeah, I think having loop also fine, like some comment line saying that, here. So if you look at this, until this, we had a definition, and this is a definition, right? And when I'm writing like this, is greater than 45 of L, what will happen? You're passing 12, 3, 4, 5. Got it? And so when it goes to when you are making this function call, you are passing L value to data. Now data becomes L value. Got it? Yeah. For item in data. So what is the values? What is the data value become? So this list will come down here, and for each, see, the loop will stuck for how many times? Now the loop will the loop will happen for 4 times, 4 continuous times. It's not that it will come for one item and exit like here. No, it's stuck. So that's where I just mentioned here. The loop will stuck for 4 times. 4 times this it executes this two statements continuously. It comes with the value. For example, the first loop 12, the item value becomes 12. If 12 greater than 45, false, then it will go for next item, because condition false, right? Because there is no else block. That's why it got stuck. It will go for second, 3 greater than 45, false, 4 greater than false, 5 greater than 5, false. So loop ends. You got it? Loop started and loop ended. Even if you want, you can keep one more space. Once it ends with loop, then only it comes to the, like, else last written false statement. You got it? So since none of the items is greater than 45, right? Once it is done with the loop, then it comes to this statement executes. So what is the next last statement? False. Guys, did you got it? If I export this now, program, did you see this? Why you got false? Any questions in this? Did you got confused or you're good? Good. How about Naveen, Molly, Aparna? You're good, right? Cool. So similarly, guys, similarly, you need to understand, like, writing a proper written statement. This is completely important. Sometimes, right, they used to say, what we can say, they will write, they will just write like this. Okay, they don't even put a written false. This time, if I export this program, you will come to know. Did you see this? Actually, see, is greater than 45 function should only return true or false, right? But did you see what it written? It written none. Did you get it? Because none is not a valid legal boolean value, right? None is something else, which is another data type. But what this function should do, it should return only two values, either true or false. Now, did you understand the importance of this, writing proper function? Got it? Yeah, it's very important. Cool. So same way, for example, let's say if I ask you to say, like, there is some scenario, right? Based on based on certain conditions, you can also use in operator, something like this. Let's say uh, not for this particular scenario. There might be a scenario where you need to check whether the item is, let's say India is in the string or not. For example, let me give a small scenario. Okay, we're done with this. See, S equal to India is beautiful country, for example. Okay, so what you need to do is you need to check whether it's a let's say see at least one, no problem. See, I had a string. India is a beautiful country to live, or India is a beautiful country, just like this. And use cases, use case return true if beautiful substring exists, else false. Got it? So how we can check it? It's very simple. Again, let's say, uh, see, see this time what you have to do is you need to check two things. So in this particular string, you'll be passing, say two strings this time. Let's say you'll be passing two strings. One string is S, and you will be checking. See, return true if beautiful substring exists in the string. So let's say version string and substring. For example, substring equal to beautiful, right? This time what you need to do is see not only this, right? There might be a scenario where, see, this particular scenario, what I can do is, if let's say print, then directly what I can do is print sub in S. Okay, true or false, who can tell me? Because what is sub is beautiful, correct? Beautiful in India is a beautiful country. True or false? True, right? Yeah, if I trigger this, so this is true. That's where it is printing out. You got it? And you should write now, what the use case is, you should write a function which should take two parameters this time. One parameter is string, other parameter is substring. Okay, so your function should return based on not only here this is static now. Okay, now you will be getting this you will be getting this strings dynamically from the user in the real time. You got it? So how this can be implemented? Even you can, let's say if you go to you know, is substring check online. For example, extract substring or is substring. Check if is substring or not. For example, if I go back here, there is you know, not only this actually, there are extract a substring. So there are some tools, right? Did you see this? There, I don't see. I don't take. I didn't get proper thing, but there might be a scenario where you need to check whether the substring present in the original string or not. Okay. Let us do a practical thing. Now, to do this, what you have to do is you have to write this algorithm again. Okay. So first we have to take. See step one or step one. Take take the original string from the user. Okay, either it can be a keyboard or it can be a UI, and take the substring from the user that need to be checked. Got it? And so once we have this, then define a function with proper name with two parameters. Two parameters. One for taking original string and other for taking substring. Got it? And once we have these two, right? And then check if substring in original string. Okay, and return return true if present. Okay, false otherwise. Got it? You're done. And finally, make a function call with two arguments. Okay, super. So now this time what I'll be doing is take the original string from the user, take the substring from the user that needs to be checked. Okay. So currently it is, you know, this is to give you heads up that hey, this is how the core logic of the program. Okay. If I execute this program, oh, there is some. Okay, sorry, pardon. So I have to comment this out. Yeah. Oh, okay. So this is complete. This is completely what? Completely logic, right? So yeah, this completely algorithm. Now let us write the program. Okay. So program is I'll just look at the algorithm and write for the same use case. Okay, for this use case, yeah, it's very easy. So first is what? Define the take the take the original string from the user. Let's say s equal to s is original string. Okay, what is the function to take from the user? Input function. Got it? Yeah. Enter original string. Okay. Put like this so that it will be easy for you to enter where it should be. Next, substring. Substring equal to, again, take the user take this input from the user, right? Enter substring. Got it? So once we have this two, right? Next, define a function with proper name. Okay, def. Okay, what's the function name? Let's say is substring. Did you got it? The function name. So this is how we should write is substring, and the first one is original string, and second string, or you can give exact name or you can give some other name. Let's say original string, comma substring. Got it? And you can do is what you can do is written directly. You can say sub underscore in original string. Got it? You're done. You're done with this fourth step also. Got it? And what is the last step? You have to make you have to see, if you execute this program, nothing will happen. What is the reason? It, even if you enter this, let's say if you enter, let's say, some string, India, substring is, let's say, for example, DI. Guys, DI is substring of India, yes or no? Who can tell me? Yes, right? Yes. But if I execute this, nothing happens because I just taken these values and stored into a variable, but I am not executing anything. You got it? I am no. There is no print statement. Also, there is no function call. Function call. That's why, yeah. So that's why it's not triggering. Okay. If you make a function call now, is substring, right? And even the function call should have this two parameter passed. Otherwise, say without parameters, if I trigger, for example, so let's say I entered India, for example, and DA, for example. So if I make a function call, did you see this? It is still type error. What is the reason? Who can tell me now? Aparna, why this is a type error? Right, right. So we missed to parse the original original string and substring. So these two, since we define two parameters, we must pass these two arguments from the function call. Okay, these two are missing. Okay, so what we have to do is we have to pass s for original, right? And sub s is a substring. Okay, cool. Now if I execute this program, so what is the original string? Let's say India is a, let me take, yeah, India is a beautiful country, for example. And in this, like, this is a first, see what I have taken the first string, and this is now, after this statement is stored into s. Did you get it? And now secondly, I'm taking, for example, let's say a country. I'm just looking for country, COUNTRY. Okay, so if I execute this now, again what happened? Nothing happened because I didn't print it. But if I go back here, I didn't print it, right? So if I execute this now, did you see this? So let me just copy paste, and second is country. Country is valid, no? Did you see this? This function returned true for me. Why? Because country string present. Yeah. And if I trigger one more time, this time if I pass something else, let's say again I'll use the same string, but I'll try to pass the string which is not exist. Let's say USA. USA does not exist in the original string, right? If I export this out, do you see this? Which is false. Guys, did you understood or no? Yeah, yeah, got it. Yeah. So this, mm-hmm, mm-hmm, okay, right, exactly. So in the previous statement, we didn't had a proper, see, we must define true or false. But in this case, the in operator, right? In operator itself taken care of, like if present it returns true, else it returns false here itself. Did you got it? Yeah. It does not require explicitly, true false thing. But if we don't use in operator, then you are in trouble. Then you should use return true false. Did you got it? Yeah. So I can show you that flavor also. But yeah, this is pretty neat. So we should start using this kind of style only. Naveen. Yeah. And one more important thing. So since you have seen, like, the definition of the function itself, right? So see, we have defined function name, parameters also we have passed, and what is there is something called function doc string, documentation string. So what documentation string is? Here you are seeing we define this and we define this. This is lagging with the code readability. Code readability also good. Okay, one second. Yeah. So code readability also good. Understood. But what is the problem in this? Sometime, let's say, if you leave the organization and some other person joined your project, right? And if you are not providing any information about this function, see, currently it is only one particular line. Imagine this function has 100 lines, and you are not clearly telling like what this function will do. Understood? So that become nightmare for the new engineer who are joined to make it more simpler, because any organization, right? So employees will come and go, but the thing is I should make sure the code is properly maintainable code. Even though if you leave the organization, someone has to understood what you have written, right? So for that, what we do is we have to write a documentation string. So documentation string is again three double quotes only. Understood? Inside this we should write what this function is meant for. Got it? Let's say function to check if substring exists in original string. You got it? So by looking at this, now it is very clear, right? By looking at this function, it is clear that, oh, okay, this function is written for checking the whether substring is exists or not. Did you got it? So meaning whenever they can reuse this function a number of times to check whether substring exists or not. Yeah. So this function not only checks substring exists or not. This is one second. Let me think of whether we can apply this to even list also we can apply. For example, let's say we had a sub list, right? Sub list. For example, we have a list. So this can be leveraged to use even uh, this time we put a hash print this time. Instead of this, what I'm passing original string on this, right? So let me pass some list, some item. Let's say I'll be checking whether value 30 exists or not inside the list. I'll pass the direct value of the list, 10, 20, 30. Guys, did you got it? So in this particular case, right, is substring. So what help us? I'm see. Uh, you just don't think of too much about the parameter. Parameter we see, whatever the parameter we define, it will be like, it will be the same only. You got it? So here, what I have done, I have passed 30. 30 will go to this variable. You got it? Instead of naming original string and substring, right? One second. Let me make a same program. So I'll just, I don't want to disturb that program. Instead, I'll copy, do some alterations. I'll copy this, the same program. The same function. What I'll do is return is sub for example. Okay, and here instead of saying like original, say x, say y, say x. So sorry, not x. Say y in x. Did you got it? What I mean? And even the function name should change when I'm making a function call. You got it? So this time, what we are doing? See, this same program can be used to check whether substring sublist exists or not. Did you got it? What I mean? For example, this particular case, if I trigger this out, so what I'm checking, I'm passing, I'm passing 30. This will go and store in x, right? This should be okay. No, no, the way in which I'm passing, that's fine. Anyway, that's okay. Yeah, got it. So here, if you see, I'm passing 30. 30 will go and sit in x. List of 10 and 20 go and sit in y. Got it? So what I'm doing here, x in y. What is x here? 30. 30 in list of 10 and 20. Who can tell me true or false? False. Perfect. So since it is double quotes, right? Yeah. Once again, I'll pass like this. That this is also fine. Even three single quotes should work because it is not allowing us to. What's the problem here? Did we? Okay, we have opened two parameters, two brackets, but we closed only one. Yeah, now we're good. Did you see this? It didn't false. And for example, if I pass 20 now in another print statement, got it? If I execute this, so what it is printing? It is printing true. Guys, is it clear or no? Clear, right? Even the same logic you can still use, in the x you just pass the substring, in the y you just pass the original string. Okay, so now we have see, this program can, this logic can be written or used for checking strings or checking the items inside the list, tuple, stud, dictionary, whatever it is. You got it? Let's say is underscore, so let's say print, right, is underscore sub, right here. So same thing, India, right, comma. If you look at this, India's beautiful country. Guys, it's a Python is case sensitive, okay? Case sensitive in the sense it understands uppercase letters and lowercase letters. And if it is uppercase and lowercase, if it will not match. Got it? So I just given a hint now. Now tell me who will help me out here. I'm passing false. Reason here I yes, yes. So there is India string present in the original string, but Here I is lowercase letter in the substring. In the original string it is capital I. So that's where it is. Okay, if I trigger this out, you'll come to know. Did you got it? And if we just change, let's say, here to small I, now this will match. Yeah. So we really need to understand how this is getting translated. Now did you understood? One single substring function will perform many actions. It can be applied to list. It can be applied to string. It can be applied to tuple. Applied to anything. Even if you pass set, still it should work. Got it? Any questions in this? Okay. So if you have a string of thousands of lines, right? Uh, Currently, see, in order to do such kind of things, we had in Python, that process is very slow. So we should pass, we should do a like, there is a concept called multi-threading and multi-processing, right? So we have to execute in that style. In one go, you should not, in only one process you should not execute. That will become your application to very slow, but still, see, most like majority of the cases, right? Though whatever the character it is, it will take and execute and give you the output, but only the slowness will be there. Okay, let's quickly do that, right? So let us check. Let's say now that we understood, right, how to check the execution time. So how to check the execution time? It's very simple that before function call and after function call we should check it. Got it? So let us try out in the scenario that uh, let's say here this is also not required, and instead of making this, remove that as well, and we had a substring. First of all, substring, this should be a string, or it can be, for example, substring equal to, let's say, India. But original string, you mean, let's say you can go and copy, some story or anything from this. Okay. For example, I copied everything. Got it? And in order to get the text right, so I'll just paste it somewhere here and then copy this. Okay. And what I'll do is I'll just pass this data here. Got it? I don't know how much content I have copied. If I export this out, still it is real quick only. Okay. And if I pass this is substring, right? So substring and original. So we are not printing it. Okay, okay, we're not printing. When I go back here, to see it, and if you want to check how many characters are there in the original string, right? Just try to use print. Yeah, perfect. Length of sub, not sub, original, because this is required. Yeah. So total 6,852 characters are there. Even if you want to multiply, you can do whatever the number it is, but still. So currently it is false, right? So do one thing, in somewhere in the lost, when you're looking at this, right? So from here, give here. So last character is India. Just place somewhere here to to prove that it is working. Your logic still working. Got it? Yeah. If we execute this time India string exists somewhere in the last. Did you see this? The characters, five characters, India, right? So we added the extra characters. That's where the character count got increased, and even that returns the true condition. Yeah, got it up now? Yeah. So in the real time, right? So most likely we will not get very large data. So generally, so we might be thinking that when it comes to doing this kind of operations, right? Uh, Rarely we will get. Occasionally we will get not only 6,000 characters. So we will get very less only still, and even execution time will be real quick. It is not even 1 2 seconds, because at the office, right, the servers are super fast, because it has, let's say, 16 core processors, and even memory also, which vast actually. So the computation will be very speed, though it is large data. It doesn't care. So it's just like that, it process it. It's all of a matter of CPU actually, computations, right? Yeah. G- got it. So if you want to perform this kind of operation, you can write the same logic in your application, and you should be good. Yeah. So in our project related stuff, right? What we do is we will create one file called utility file. Okay, utils file. Okay, our user utils file. In that, we will keep all these kind of helper functions. Okay, so meaning, instead of writing this function, see, is sub, this does checking the whether this is available or not, right? Even it performs for list, tuple, whatever the data type it is, right? This is applied to any project, right? It is not only for xyz project. It can be applied for project 2, project 3. You get it or no? Because these are reusable functions. Okay, and when we were developing any function new project, right, we will simply, what we do is, from project A we will copy all the reusable functions, and we will paste into project B. We will copy to project B. Then most of my job will done it. See, majority of my job is done for reusable things. You got it? So like that, we will create a specific models for each and every uh, use case. Yeah, did you got it? Okay. So any questions in this? Hmm? Fine. Got it. That's right. So see, when it comes to the file related operations, right, so we were not touched as actually, but still what we can do is we can still use, how this can be utilized is, um, so client is provided. So the use case is, client provided the file, some text file. Okay, some text file which has data. Now client is asking, so client provided the text file which has data, whose total pages is, let's say, 2000, 2000 pages. You got it? Yeah. And now what you have to do is you have to check, right? So client provided the text file which has which has data, and whose pages is 2000 pages. No problem. What you can do is simply you can use the same, you can use the same function. What you have to do is you have to write file object. Guys, this don't worry about this, but yeah, we will learn this concept. You have to pass this file name. Let's say whatever the disk, right? For example, let's say so users, if it is a Linux box, right? So your username, let's say for example Aparna, and you stored into a desktops, and file name is let's say client xyz.txt. This is what your file. Okay. So upon what you can do is you can use f underscore object dot read. Okay. So there is a function called read function when it comes to file operations. When you use this file object dot read, right? What it will do is it reads complete data the way which I have just done, right? I just went here, copied everything, correct? Copied everything in single string. Did you see here? Copied every step, every data into a single string. And if you look at the above, this in the same examples, right? I just pasted here. See, in the original string, I pasted the whole thing in one place, one line. Did you got it? So the same way, what you can do is you can write like this, okay? And for this function, let's say if client is asking, hey, some data present in this or not. Let's say uh, you should write this function, and yeah, you should first of all you should read this you should open the file, read the data. So read function reads the complete content and store them in a single string, and say my string equal to or fetch, or not fetch, let's say data equal to, okay, data equal to f object dot read. That's it. Now you had the data is your string, right? And simply ask what, let's say if client is asking to check whether some employee id is available or in the string, employee id string available in the file or not. For example, let's say sub is substring equal to, let's say employee id, also he provided some data. Hey, can you check whether this employee id is present or not? Okay, what you will be doing, simply you will be calling this function. Got it? And you will be passing substring, okay, comma data of the file. Got it, Aparna? Did you understood? So this way, what you can do is you can take the data from the file, pass it on, pass it on to the function call. While passing, you'll also ask what substring you want to check. Substring. You got it? If you pass the substring and the data, so simply it takes x is taken substring and y is taken the original string, and it will just perform x in y. So majoritarily when you are performing some sort of substring operations, right, like checking or checking related operations, right? So we should use the built-in operators instead of writing some traditional code to check each and every string. We should use the x and y. This is very faster. Instead of writing your own logic to check whether the string is, currently there are many data available, right? So if you write like this x and y, it just like that it performs the operation and get you the results. That's where you are currently seeing on the screen. If I export this out, but yeah, currently since this file data is not present, I cannot work out, but this is how it should be. Yeah, got it. Hmm. And any questions from anyone? Yeah, you can, right? So see, when you're passing not only file names, you have to pass the complete location, the file path. So yeah, that time, this function slightly should be changed, because this is to mean to check for even strings, uh, list, tuple, sets, right? So if you have a specific use case where you will be passing the file name and the string, right? That time this logic should be inside the same logic, exactly same, but slightly it will change. Let me show you this. So this time, instead of y, for example, this is a path, okay, and x is still a substring. You got it? And when you're doing this operation, right? So still you will be doing the same logic inside and behind the scenes, right? You'll be doing the same logic. Got it? And instead of having this data, so since you are already providing this path from the uh, you know function call, right? So you can send something like this, okay? And what else you can do, like before doing this, right? Before opening this file, sometimes that file may be exist in the location or not, right? You have to do a you should have a strict conditional check. If, for example, let's say if there's a library called OS library, import OS, okay? OS, OS and import sys. Got it? OS, see, if you just look at this, OS dot, if you see, you can see there are many things. If you look at this, make directories, you can create a directories, open, open directory, path. Did you see this? Path. There is something called is exist. There are there are many other names, right? So whatever the OS related operation you want to perform, right? Even there is something called sys. With OS also you can perform, but when it comes to sys also has a lot of paths are available. When you did you see this? Here path is still available. Is there is something called yeah. So if you want to check like is path exist, for example, there is something called is path exist, or is there is some more what we can say method or function available. Let me quickly find out. Is path exist in Python, for example? So which model? See, there is a model name like os dot path dot exist. Did you got it? So what you can do is os if os dot path dot, if you just put dot itself, right, it will fetch all the available things. You got it? If you see exist, right, see here, and you should pass the path of that file. You got it? If this exists, then only do this. Yeah. So when you're doing such kind of operations, so we should be very careful. We should check whether the path exists or not. Yeah. But honestly, we don't do such kind of file related operations like this in the real time. Okay. So when we were playing with this playing with the application, we don't majoritarily we don't play with the files. Instead we will play with the JSON. When it comes to us, we will get the data from the database and distribute or give to the user interface. You got it? But generally we don't do such kind of operations. But when it comes to other, maybe other roles might involve in playing with this kind of file related operations, right? But in generally in current role which we were focusing, we might not involved in doing this kind of operations with the files. Yeah, got it. If we don't have knowledge in this, also absolutely fine. But still, if there is some use case where you want to work, if you are sure about other use cases like this, for example, let's say we know how this can be implemented, right? The implementation also still exactly same. Did you see this? Exactly same. What you will be doing, if YZ file exists, then only you will be you will be reading the data, and once you have the data, then what do you do? Return. Who can tell me? Who can tell me? Yes, return X in data. That's it, right? Isn't it? Naveen, is it simple or no? Yeah, and we will be passing, let's say is served, right? We will be passing the system path. So I want to check now, this time I want to check the employee ID. Let's say employee ID string, let's say some number, comma. So I'll be passing the path, file path. The file path is, let's say, user desktop client.text, for example, some text. Now, did you understood? Even Aparna, did you get it? How this can be implemented? This is how. Yeah. But as mentioned, right? So no need to worry about this much. Generally, we don't play with the file. Right. Mm-hmm. Okay. Okay. So you can still automate, right? Now you understood the concept. Yeah. Got it. So that is pretty straightforward, Aparna. So in case if you are struggling with that work, let me know. Okay. Yeah. All right. So yeah, we were talking about this, is substring, right? So we all good now, right? In this particular use case. So you can write a function. See, you're able to write a function. And one more thing. So this still fail. Okay, this function still fails. I'll show you the fail scenario also. If you write this function, let's say, let's say, what if the user has given data in the ulta position, meaning he has given like this. See, sorry. So here, let's say item, right? Item comma data, where item equal to, so now I'll do a call, a pass by reference, item equal to 34, and data equal to, let's say, for example, 34. Okay. Now, guys, I just tricked you. Okay, nothing else I have done here. I just tricked you. What I have done is sub 34 comma data. By looking at itself, your mind is running like, no, no, 34 in 34. Come on, that's correct, right? See, when we are performing in operator, the next in operator, the left one should be a item, the right one should be iterable object. When I say iterable object, what are the iterable object? It has a length of minimum of 2. You got it? If what is the length of this one? 1, right? Like for anyway, for integers, length is even not applied, not applicable. Got it? But when it comes to y must be of iterable object, loopable object. If you don't have a, see how this will happen. 34 in 34. Now, what you will be thinking, Priyanka? Can you tell me like what exactly you're thinking about this? When you're looking at this, you are like, this is true, correct? That is the original. Yeah. That is the original context. But when you are working on this kind of in operator, the second, see, the left one can be fine, but the right one must be iterable object, which means it should be inside the list. Even if I try this, right, if I execute this out, this is false. Did you see this? The argument of type integer is not iterable. That's where it is. See, y must be iterable object here. 34, see, 34 in 34 does not make any sense, right? But if I make 34 in list of 12 comma 34, see, this is type error, and this is correct. Did you get it or no? That 34 is available in some container, like it can see, this y can be any of other than number, other than boolean. This can be any type. This can be a list. Y can be a list, tuple, string, set, anything. Did you get it, guys, or no? So don't make this mistake. That's where I just pointed out actually, because this is a common mistake done by everyone, every programmer. So that's where I'm just highlighting this. So 34 in 34 does not make any sense. But 34 in some list, 34 in some tuple, some dictionary, some set, which makes sense. Yeah. And one more thing, when I'm making, let's say, this is one use case, right? So when I take this out, we, now who can tell me? Again, I'll be tricking you. Okay. Say is sub, right? I'll be writing 34 comma hello page 34. Okay, again, I as mentioned, I have tricked you. Okay, so now when you're looking at this, please watch it carefully. Now when I execute this program, what will happen? Who can tell me what will be the output if I had a print statement here? Yeah, what will be the output? Yeah, but who told true actually? Aparna. So that's where I mentioned, right? So I tricked this program. Okay, but what is the problem here? The problem here is very simple. Okay, so I passed 34. I passed hello. Okay, so here 34 double equal to 34. True or false? Which is true, correct? But when I do this, 34 double equal to string of 34. You got it? So oh, okay. So I can understand because you are not there in the operator concepts. So you will be hitting that operator concept maybe in next session or the other session, since in the sequence, right? But you'll be meeting very soon. That's where I mentioned triggered you. So here 34 in this list, this string, right? String of iterable objects. 3 and 4 available. But here 3 and 4, it's not an integer object. It is not integer data. So it is a string data. So this is okay. Like when the condition is this, then this is true. So to make it understand, I'm just writing like this. Okay. But when I do 34 double equal to string of 34, which is false. Did you get it? Yes? No? Aparna? This time? Yeah? Got it. Right. So if I execute this now, do you see this? So here you're doing like x 34 in. So here x and y, type error. I- In, see, required a string as a left operand, not integer. So what it is saying, again it's type error. So what it is saying, hey, you are doing this, that should be fine. But only problem is the left operator, right? Like you are doing like in. X in Y. So Y is hello 34. It is saying, like error is saying, X must be of S also X also must be of string type. Otherwise it will not work. Do you see that? Guys, in Python, the errors are very, very neat. When you want to go through them, it will give you clear cut message. See, type error in string required string as the left operand, not integer. So it is talking about this guy. So X is 34. You are giving me, but I am not happy with it. The problem is in string here in string it required left side operand as a string. Got it? Guys, did you understood or no? Clear, no? Yeah. So guys, what you can do is you can practice this because I don't want to take much time of yours now because you have to practice and again we will catch up in the morning session, morning 6 a.m. Got it? And it will be heavier for you guys if you continue.